guys, and welcome back to another episode of Change Wired podcast, where we talk about what it really takes to grow, lead, and create meaningful change in yourself and in the world. Before you can lead others, you gotta learn how to lead yourself. And that's gonna be the theme of today's podcast. But before, something that I got curious about this weekend. I read this article in Harvard Business Review, how people are really using generative AI in 2025. And you know what the top usages for AI were? Number one, therapy. Number two, organizing your life. And number three, finding purpose. Are you surprised? Not so much. I wasn't surprised, but it hit home for me because, people were writing about, I'm going to leave alone therapy for a moment, the first usage of AI in 2025. But I want to talk about getting organized. People have been writing books, thinking about getting organized, getting our priorities right, getting things done for centuries. And now that we have AI, it seems like, now we for sure have everything we need to finally get our shit together and get the right things done at the right time and get all our priorities and all our goals done. But do you believe the next tool is going to solve the problem? That's the problem of humanity? Today I want to speak about something that I've seen in almost every leader I coach. I see it in myself very often. It's looking for the tool, for the perfect thing. It's a subtle but dangerous belief that once we have the right system, the perfect tool, or the next productivity hack or a piece of knowledge, that we'll finally get it all together. But I think, guys, the truth is, and you might already know that what's missing isn't the next tool, the best system, but something internal, something that we need to work inside. It's something that you don't download, but something you work on. It's something you build daily, internally. So this article in Harvard Business Review about top usage of generative AI reminded me of another quote that I read quite recently in the book Actionable Gamification by Chou, who we actually going to have on our podcast. May 29th, we're going to record, and then shortly after, we're going to have Yukai speaking about actionable gamification that helps us to work better, to live better, to, be better. So we're going to talk about that on this podcast as well with Chou himself. But he has this quote: function-focused design assumes that people are naturally motivated. Human-focused design recognizes they're not and tries to create motivation at every step. Human-focused design. Another huge shift in thinking, which actually doesn't happen for a lot of leaders and people who create and build products, software, solutions, services. Because we still often assume that the minute we get access to the right app, the right tool, we give ease of accessibility to people, the best planner, AI enhanced, of course, that we and other people will follow through. Like if we give the best tools, people for sure will use it. Tomorrow, maybe, probably never. We've had access to all the knowledge we need to live better for years. We know how to get fit. We know what foods to eat. We know how to sleep better. We've got endless resources at our fingertips these days. And still, how many people do you know who are in their top fitness shape, have their sleep figured out, have perfect nutrition habits? How many people? The problem isn't access to knowledge, tools, the next AI bot. It's activation. It's not more information, it's more self-leadership. Derek Sivers, entrepreneur I really admire. He's kind of freedom thinker, does a lot of things that make no sense to the rest of the world and still makes business somehow out of it. So he has this quote: if more information was the answer, we'd all be billionaires with perfect apps. The thing that brings back to me is that the problem isn't, it was never a new system, better business operating system, better lead generation system. Like, of course, we solve problems with all of that. But in order to utilize, in order to get maximum potential of all of these tools and knowledge, we first have to get motivation and self-mastery and self-leadership to consistently follow through and take the hard action to figure it all out. Now, even if you have the best advice, you'll still need to test, you still need to fail, you're still not going to have energy all the time, and you need to figure out how to do the thing which might not be working yet, and you might not have energy, but still do it to have the opportunity to figure it out. The real operating system, the real mastery starts with emotional mastery, not the next AI tool. By the way, AI, at least till this day, has no idea what emotional mastery is. It doesn't have human experience. It doesn't have human brain. Even when you have clarity on your goals with the right plan, the right blockers for deep work, the main block is still inside. It's not the tool that failed, it's that you felt tired, overwhelmed, scattered, disorganized. Maybe something went wrong earlier in the day. Maybe someone said something that triggered doubt and made you question yourself. And that subtle emotional wave and shift that changed the choice you made. You skipped the task, you delayed the meeting, you chose not to get as prepared as you could, you closed the tab on that proposal you were writing. And this happens all the freaking time, guys. Doesn't it? We are told to just do it, but really taught how to lead ourselves when motivation disappears, when our discipline isn't that strong, when fear creeps in, when focus dissolves. That's what emotional mastery is. But that's what choosing who you want to be is all about. And you don't get that from AI agent or from Google Assistant or from Excel sheet. You get it from practice and training your awareness, resilience, and discipline. But I don't want to talk more about that. You probably get the idea. The next AI tool will not solve the problem that is internal, that is about self-mastery, emotional mastery, self-growth. So emotional mastery is actually that tool, that discipline that will solve most of it, that will help you to get organized, that will help you to find purpose, that will help you to not need therapy, but be your own therapy. So let's start with emotional mastery and let's train what really matters. Over the past few days, I think over the weekend, I wrote a blog on emotional mastery and I gave people 5-step process, which is really easy based on current research of emotional regulation, of developing your emotional intelligence, based on ton of research that works for people, guys, works for you and me, someone with a human brain. And it will help you again to get organized and get all of the things done. But before I jump into the emotional mastery 5-step plan, how to start getting better at cultivating your best emotions for your future better self, even when you don't feel like doing the thing. Before we jump into that, I want to invite you to share this podcast, screenshot it, to email it, to send it over WhatsApp, over Instagram messages, Facebook messages. Please do share this podcast with more people like yourself who might need a little nudge, a little prodigal to start working on what really matters from inside out. So then you can use all of the apps and all of the AI to maximize your potential. Please share this podcast episode. We don't run any ads, but we want to reach more ears and help more people to grow. So together we could create the most amazing world and live the most fulfilling life. So please do share, rate, review. That's how we grow together, by taking action. Consider that your challenge. Take action. Don't just think about that. So back to emotional mastery and 5-step process. Whenever you feel the emotion that you know isn't really positive, isn't really moving you towards anywhere, you might not be motivated, you might be sad, disappointed, fearful, like whatever that emotion, first investigate. Start asking, put your investigator hat on. Where is this emotion coming from? What caused it? What stories am I telling myself about what just happened? What my beliefs, my values are, right? When this negative, disempowering emotion happen, when we start doubting ourselves, ask yourself what happened and what stories am I telling myself that I want to not do anything? So investigate. Number 2, learn from it. What is it telling about myself? What values, boundaries, beliefs were disturbed or violated? Where my expectations did not meet the reality? Understand yourself better, learn, develop that self-awareness. It comes from reflection. Right? So first investigate, then learn. The third one, challenge. Does it serve me? Does feeling this way, thinking this way serve my better self, serve my better future, leads me to self-growth, to self-development, to self-leadership? Does this serve me? Realize you have a choice. And then the 4th step, choose. If this story, if this belief, if this expectation doesn't serve me, like I'm feeling, for example, jealous when I see other people doing talks and developing their business, and some part of me like, well, why they? Like, I deserve it more. I used to have that thought all the time. I'm like, does this really serve you, Angela? What if instead, and this is where the choice comes in, you could choose to ask that person how they got where they are, how they developed this amazing skill that made them better, good, phenomenal at what they do, so they get the opportunities that they have, how they got where they got, and also get inspired by, they did it, so that means that you, another human, can do it too. And guess what? That actually serves me a lot more, because that creates the energy, I want to do something like that, so maybe I should do and go out and take the same action and work on myself to get that good, to get those opportunities. So that emotion of empowerment, of inspiration, the stories of empowerment and inspiration serve me a lot better, and I can choose to cultivate them. My emotional state, it's my garden, and I get to choose what I keep there and what I pull out of the ground, like that jealousy, disempowering jealousy. I can pull it out and throw it away. And with time, with practice, with repetition, just like when your bicep gets stronger with more curls done, your emotional garden gets better the more you practice different stories, different choices when it comes to emotional states, like how you choose to think about what happens. You have a choice. And number 5, act on it. Whether that's telling yourself a different story, but even better, go out and take action. Like what I started doing when I see someone inspiring and I get this pinch of jealousy, like, I want that too. I start trying to reach out to them, scheduling a call, reaching out to them on social media and saying, well, yeah, that is so cool what you're doing there. How did you get there? How did you work towards it? Please do share more of that. Can we connect? Can we have a chat? I want to have more people like yourself who do amazing stuff that makes me go out there and work on myself and on my thing and get more things done. So when you take action, you empower that new emotion, that new story that you need to grow into a better self, a self that does the things that you already want to do. We are here not about pushing you into doing what some part of you doesn't want to do. We are here about growing in the future self that we'd absolutely love seeing in our future. So let's recap this 5-step process. Whenever you feel a disempowering emotion that prevents you from taking action, like getting organized, finally, you investigate, you start asking questions. Where is it coming from? Why am I feeling lazy? Why am I feeling unmotivated? What stories am I telling myself? What beliefs do I have, right? And that flows into step number 2. Learn about yourself. What beliefs, what boundaries, what patterns, what values were disturbed, violated, triggered with what just happened. Then you challenge your emotion, your thinking process, your stories. Is it the thing that I want to keep? Does it serve me? Does it serve better self, better future that I want for myself? Does it serve me? And if it doesn't, step number 4, choose. What will serve better future, better me, my growth, my self-leadership? Choose that. Choose to be inspired by other people's successes instead of ruminating on the fact they don't deserve it. They probably do. They did something to get where you want to go. And now it's your time. And then step number 5, to act on it. Ask how they got there. Take action. Journal about that. If you can't get in touch with that person, then go Google them up. Google their early years, what they had to do to get where they are. Probably not talent, but a lot of hard work. So 5-step process. Investigate, learn, challenge, choose, act. Which, by the way, I did amazing graphic with ChatGPT carousel that you can save on Instagram. If you go to Angela Brain Body Coach on Instagram, my handle is Angela Brain Body Coach, and you'll see these 5 steps of emotional mastery to self-mastery, how to navigate negative feelings for self-mastery. And now, guys, to recap the whole episode, the whole world using AI to get organized. But the thing is, just like before, we had all the tools, you had all the information, you had all the answers. But are you the fittest, the healthiest, the most productive and efficient self yet? Do you really think that AI can make that kind of difference? AI can give you a lot of simplicity, a lot of tools, but the drive to use those tools consistently has to come from within. And you can't just rely on feeling motivated. You have to learn how to create this fire, how to start that fire of motivation, of discipline, no matter where you start, how you wake up, how much energy you feel, how motivated you feel to begin with. You need to learn how to cultivate and grow your emotional garden of self-mastery. And 5 steps to navigate negative feelings to emotional mastery that we talked about here today, they will help you. And don't forget to check out Instagram post, very graphical and cool. We got more likes than ever, I think 200 something. So check it out, Angela Brain Body Coach on Instagram. Say hello if you are there. And don't forget to share this podcast episode. Let's grow together. And that's how we grow, by sharing what works and what helps us to get better. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you got amazing value. Don't forget to share it. Just spread it around. And till next time, keep growing from within.